Just Talk Black Show. Disclosure Statement. Disclaimer. The views and opinions shared on the Just Talk Black Show are those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the show, its sponsors, or affiliates. This show is a space for open, honest, and respectful dialogue within the Black community. Some conversations may include sensitive topics, strong language, or personal opinions that are intended to spark thought and encourage positive change. Listener discretion is advised. All guests are responsible for the accuracy of their statements and agree to participate voluntarily. By appearing on the show, guests give permission for their audio, video, and likeness to be recorded and distributed across Just Talk Black's platforms. Let's talk real. Let's talk truth. Let's just talk black.
We just talk black. You ain't heard about it. Just Talk Black Show with DJ Purpose on Thursday at 7 p.m. Black business. Just talk black. The issues we deal with. Just Talk Black Show. Come and just talk black with DJ Purpose on Thursday at 7 p.m. If you black and in the community, this is where you need to be. Just Talk Black Show. Just talk black. Come and just talk black.
So, hi guys, welcome to Just Talk Black. I'm your host, DJ Purpose, and today we have a special guest, and I'm talking about a real special guest. So, for those who didn't tune in for last week, please go and watch and find us on the same channel. It's on My Black Solution, and it's Just Talk Black. We've got many different Black-owned businesses who show their business and showcase their business. So, today, you know what? We've got a special guest, and he's a good friend of mine, actually, and he goes by Leon Brand. So I'm going to let Leon introduce himself and just tell us a little bit about what he does and, just a little bit about his character, and then we'll go further on into the discussion. So I just bring Leon in.
DJP, how you doing, brother? You all right?
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, thanks.
I've got one thing to say first of all, bro. Your actual intro jingle was brilliant, man. Where did you get that done? Did you get that done on software?
Well, that would be telling. That would
Very
be
good.
telling. But yeah,
Very
it's a very impressive. I say AI nowadays is helping us out in this industry. So if you are out there, do brush up on your AI, do look into AI because it can help your business. But Lee, just tell us a little bit about yourself. I've known you for a long time, and yeah, just tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me on your show. I know we've been speaking about your business and the things you're doing within the Black community for such a long time. So it's a real privilege for me to be on your show, brother. And about myself, listen, I'm a family man. I always get reminded when somebody asks me tell us a bit about yourself. Do you ever remember the film Gladiators with, who was the star of Gladiators? I can't remember. Russell Crowe was the star of Gladiators. And at the end, he says, I'm husband to a murdered wife. I'm a father to a murdered son. Well, whenever I talk about who I am, I think about that. I say, I'm husband to one wife, father to two sons, and a beautiful, beautiful daughter. I'm a business owner, a man of God, a man of faith. And what else can you say? That's the main things about me. I love people. That's the main thing, brother. I absolutely love people, love hanging around people. I get a lot of energy from social interactions and from doing what I do within my business. So yeah, family man, man of God, and people lover, I should say, or yeah, social butterfly, if that makes sense.
Lee, thanks for introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about yourself. Now, just going into it, can you just give us a little bit back on your background and just tell us a little bit about your background of your heritage and stuff?
Yeah. So do you mean cultural background,
Culture
you
wise, yeah, culture background.
yeah. So I was born here. I was actually born in Lewisham Hospital. I mean, you're Southeast London, right? So
Yep.
I was born in Lewisham Hospital, but my parents are both from the Caribbean, specifically the beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous island of. Can anybody say it? I know everybody that's got their own island in their head right now. Some saying St. Lucia, some saying Grenada, some saying Trinidad. But my parents were both born in the beautiful island of Jamaica. They came to the UK in the 60s, I think it was. They came to the UK in the 60s. And yeah, I was born in 74, Lewisham Hospital, and grown and raised in London. I spent a little time in Northampton, actually, a little night, which is 60 miles up the motorway from London. I went to university in Southeast London in Greenwich, and started working in the investment banking industry as I came out of university. Is that kind of the cultural thing you're looking at in more
That's
detail on
perfect.
that?
Yep. That
Yeah,
that is absolutely perfect. I think it's important for people to understand sometimes where we're coming from and how we grow up. I myself was born in Southeast London. Parents are from Jamaica. So bit of culture, Sunday roast dinner, church on
absolutely right.
Sunday, those sort of stuff.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
just important that, we connect with that. Now growing up, could you, just tell us about your family sort of life? I know you said you've got three kids. Now, I want to hit it right on the straight away, right to this topic because fatherhood is very important and it's a
Man.
very serious topic, and I think it needs to be talked a little bit about more because I think fathers we do need to play a bigger role, including myself. I've got two sons
Right.
that I think it's very important to be in their lives and be a role model. And just tell us how you have found being a father, in London, in Southeast London, and sort of some of the challenging that you sort of faced.
Yeah, well, being a father is absolutely one of the biggest responsibilities in my life, next to being a husband and a family man. So, fatherhood is, I would say, the biggest privilege of my life. I absolutely love and adore my children. I mean, they are just absolutely brilliant. Each of them, all three of them, are very, very different. Jude, my eldest son, he's my business partner. We work together now. My middle son Ellis is a fantastic budding musician. In fact, he just played at Glastonbury on the stage with Ezra Collective for a little while. So he's absolutely brilliant and budding musician. And then my beautiful princess daughter, her name is Sienna. She came last when we weren't expecting that last child, but for me, she rounded off our family absolutely beautifully, added some estrogen into the mix as it was. So my wife gets a little friend to nurture and to bring up as well. But as far as fatherhood is concerned, it is absolutely the number one thing that I focus on, and I still feel like I need to do better. About 20 years ago, we were able to move away from Southeast London for no other reason that we saw a better opportunity to live in North London. So right now we're in Northeast London, which I really love for my kids. I mean, they get a little bit more green space than what I remember being in Southeast. Schools are schools wherever you go, but they're pretty decent over here. And for me, all I want to do is provide a great life for my kid. And one of the things, if I was to say, if there's anything I'm really proud about, is actually being in the home with my kids. I know that life's for some people, and it's not always the way that fathers just not always able to be there in the house with their kids. But for me, bro, one of my biggest pleasures and maybe one of the things I'm most proud about is just staying present for my kids through the challenges of life and making sure that I'm there for them all the time.
Well done, Lee. So, also just going back to that question as well, down to your father and your mother. How did your father and your mother like sort of help you with your parentinghood? Because we've got a thing that we adopt from our parents. Like I adopt certain things from my mum, I adopt certain things from my dad. And how has that sort of helped you along being a father?
Yeah, again, I was blessed. I got two really, really good parents. In fact, we did something just this evening, which was amazing. My two brothers came over, and for the first time in absolutely years, I can't remember, it was just the five of us who had dinner together, like how we were when we were kids. But my parents have been absolutely phenomenal. They have raised us with God-fearing morals, and they are still married and in love right now. I mean, honestly, sometimes, brother, it makes me like just like, you two stop it right there. They're so in love in their 80s that it's just a beautiful thing to see. I'm fortunate enough to see them very, very regularly. And quite often I see them eating dinner together, having breakfast together, and they've really set an example for us to follow. So, I mean, my dad was really strict when I was growing up. He's very, very, very strict. I'm not quite as strict as he is, but you learn and adapt as generations go by. Maybe the things that you were brought up with your dad, or the things your dad did with you, or your mum did with you, you may not do it with your kids. So my dad was really strict. My mum was what I would call a perfect wife. She was a model wife. In fact, between the two of them, they were the model family. And although I say that there was strictness in our home, I mean, my dad gave us such an example of leadership, what it is to be a man, what it is to run
Mm.
organizations, what it is to be an entrepreneur. So I think, you heard me think twice before I said it, but I think my dad is close to, if not my biggest hero. He's an absolutely phenomenal guy, and my mum too. Love her to bits. I'm so happy I get to see them every day, or almost every day.
Wonderful. And I also know, Lee, marriage life. I want to go in marriage life because for a black man,
Yeah,
our community do have a stigma on sort of thing of getting married nowadays. I know
yeah,
the younger generation, they're not really feeling marriage. And I think it's so important in our community. And there is this sort of, I don't know, like we're losing that marriage sort of thing. A lot of guys nowadays, they're not interested in it. But I've seen you, and I've seen a lot of people that have grown up in the church because I was growing up in the church, and
yeah,
I just love and I just look up to you guys, and I'm just like, wow,
yeah. We've done
these guys keep it real,
we
100% real.
I mean, me and my wife, we've done 20. Now I need to get this right now, innit, bro? I need to get it right. We've done 20. We have done 29 years. No, we've done 28 years this year, next month, actually, right? We've done 28 years this month. I see my boy Kevin on there. Kev, we've done 28 years this month. And to be honest with you, I think part of the reason why people don't rush to get married is because it's not easy. Marriage is not easy. It's not an easy thing, right? And thank God we've managed to. They say by the grace of God go I. We're 20 years, 28 years in, and going for 30 and 35 and 40. But it's not a walk in the park, man. Marriage takes work, bro. Marriage takes work, especially if, look. The thing is, you're growing as an individual and you're changing as an individual, but then you have to grow and change as a couple as well. And that is, I think, the challenge of marriage, is that it's the individual growth coupled with the joint and corporate growth that provides the challenge. But we're really happy, and we're moving forward amidst all of the challenges that gets thrown up just with life and marriage.
Mhm. So also, Lee, just going on that topic because
Mm.
I'm really interested in this part, and I just want to just say, Leon is the first man to come on this show.
Come on,
So
bro. Come
come
on.
on, come on.
Yeah,
We need to
yeah,
represent,
yeah.
and next week we've got a couple of other guys coming on. So this is really good, and this is what I want to do. I want to mix it up, ladies, sometimes guys. So if you are out there and you do want to get on your show, then you can find me on Instagram, or just find Just Talk Black on Instagram, and my phone number's on there. Give us a call and get on this show. But Lee, just going back on this, I speak to a lot of women, and there's a stereotype on black men that
Mm.
we do face. How have you sort of dealt with that, and have you had to deal with that in a sense of, so let's put it out there. They say Jamaican men are a lot of cheaters. They say black men don't know how to stay faithful. This is a thing that we as black men do face, and we do get that stereotype out there, and I'm not saying everybody does it because it's not everybody, but it
Mm.
is out there. And this is something that us as black men, we do face.
I don't like the idea of it being a stereotype, bro, because
Yeah.
all men cheat. All men, if you're straight, will go where the opportunities are. It's not a black thing. It's just a man thing. Yeah, it's just a,
Mm,
it's just a man thing. Whether you're black or whether you're not, men, if you're straight, men like women, and it
yeah.
that's how it's supposed to be.
Mm,
The challenge for everybody, I think, is holding it down. That really is the whole challenge of being a man, and I don't think that's the sole domain of black men. I think that's everybody in it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know where the stereotype comes from,
Yeah.
but I think it's a man thing. Men like women, and so they should.
I think that you're right with that, and that's where it needs to be looked at. But I'm saying we do get hit a lot. I'm saying because I've heard and I've had conversation with a lot of the black females in our community,
Yeah.
and
And what they
to
say,
me, I think I don't know what it is,
yeah.
but they seemed, and I'm not saying all,
Mm,
but it's a part that we have to face, even in the work, even in the jobs that we have to face. you know um it's very hard, and as being a father, it's it's hard for us. It's very hard, and these are the topics that we need to start talking about a lot more, that us black men, we do struggle, and we do
yeah.
come against challenges.
Well, DJP, let me say this to you, yeah. There has been an attack on manhood for years. And
Mm,
again, part of that is on black masculinity, but part of that is just an attack on men in general, yeah.
general.
There was the rise of call it feminism. There was the right. Listen, all them years ago, when I personally was dancing to, yeah, all the women, throw your hands up in there. Yeah, I was dancing to it. Then all the years,
Mm,
the same things was like everything you got in the box to the left, everything you got. Look, these when you look at the underlying message behind some of these things, it was female empowerment, which I think is absolutely brilliant. But
yeah.
some of it was female empowerment at the expense of men, right? So it was like, I'm going to tread you down so that we can rise up. So there's been a long time agenda to kind of undermine the whole family, and that starts with strong leadership. And I think that comes from the man. I think that comes from the man. I'm seeing some of my really great friends on this here. I
Oh,
saw
come on,
Norman on
come on. I
there.
like to see that. I like to see this.
I
I like
saw
to
my
see
boy
this.
Montel as well. He's absolutely phenomenal. See, this is another Montel is one guy you need to get on this show. I'll chat to him and see if he's available. A fantastic
Well,
entrepreneur.
Montel, come on. This is a
Yeah, we,
space. This is what it does. It gives you the space to put out what you need to showcase your business, showcase what you do. This is what it's about.
yeah.
But Lee, going on back to your parents, because I know with your kids and stuff.
Mhm.
Now in the household, how do you keep it with your kids, that the communication and make them feel free? Because this is a sometime as a man, sometime we could have this shoulder of, go and talk to your mother. But I know you're not like that. And I know
Nah.
your kids always come and communicate. How do you get that bond with your kids to make them feel free to come and talk to you about anything?
I hope they feel free to come and talk to me about anything. You never really know, all right? You never really know, but I think and feel that they feel confident enough to come and talk to me about anything. And me personally, it's just constant reassurance that my kids are loved, that there's
Mm,
nothing that they can do, absolutely nothing that my kids can do that is going to stop me from loving them. Right? Might be disappointed, might be a little bit upset, but there's nothing that my child can do that's going to stop me from loving them. The other thing I really, really try to instill with my children, is the concept of truth. It's just no matter what, just tell me the truth, and we can get through it together. That openness is like really. I think my kids like that because they know they might get told off, but afterwards they're going to get a hug. Afterwards they're going to get support. Afterwards they're going to have a conversation, right? So there's that. There's nothing that my kids can do that's going to stop me from loving them. I ask them all to be truthful with me at whatever cost. And then it's from a family perspective, we meet regularly, like the five of us. We sit, as me and my wife and my three children. We meet regularly, usually on a Sunday, and we just sit down and no TV, no music. We sit down in the living room and we chat. What's going on? We go around one by one by one. What's going on? How are you? Why are you keeping your room messy? You've got to do better over there. How you haven't tidied the kitchen this week? Or what events have you got coming up at school? All of these things get talked about in our family meeting. So yeah, those are the real things that I try to keep, and prayer with them as well. We really try to, not every day, or not even sometimes not even every week, but we try to meet as a family, pray, and keep all the communication channels open. Really.
I love that, Lee. I do love that. And I think it's very important, as I said. And I do want to big up all the mothers on who are on this today as well. Thank you for being the greatest mothers, because I think we do have to big up the mothers out there, but also big up the fathers who are out there as well. Lee,
Bro, can I just say something on that point?
yeah.
Yeah, there's there should be. I love how you said that. Big up the mothers, yeah, and big up the mothers. Um, I just hope that there's no mothers out there uh who are in competition with bigging up fathers. Yeah, I hope that's not the. I hope, as long as there are some good fathers, or as long as your fathers are being good to your kids, I hope there's no sense of competition from our amazing mothers. There should be no competition, man. It should be all collaboration and cooperation between mothers and fathers, man. So I love that you're celebrating mothers, but I hope there's no mothers out there thinking, "Hey, what's this father fest?" Yeah, we have to
Nah.
celebrate both.
Yeah, we do. And that's the thing, we do have to. And, this is what it's about building our community and having that strong community. And it takes the mum and it takes the dad to be both a part of that society. This is what will build our community. This was what will make our community better.
Yeah.
So, Lee, some of the hardest moment that you faced as being a black man, and how did you sort of get around that? I know your faith, and did your faith and community people, will I say, supported you, and how did they support you through it?
So some of the toughest things I've been at being a black man, or just as a father, which
Let's do
bro,
it. Let's just put it both. Let's do it both.
I tell you, let's leave. So let's talk about being a father first of all, right? The toughest moment I had in my life being a father was seeing my eldest son unwell, and he had a quite a serious health scare about 3.5 years ago, to the point where he required a bone marrow transplant. So seeing him go through chemotherapy, seeing him kind of in hospital in isolation for 5 6 weeks all by himself, couldn't see anybody, and watching his recuperation was a really, really challenging process. And faith absolutely helped with that, brother. It absolutely helped. I remember I started a WhatsApp group with people that I knew would pray, people that I knew trusted God. And they prayed us through, man. They prayed us through. There was times when me and my wife, we couldn't talk. We could just hug. Sometimes we would just cry. But thank God, man. Thank God, God provided a miracle, and you never believe it. When in this bone marrow world, when a child needs a bone, or when anybody needs a bone marrow transplant, there has to be a donor, right? There has to be a donor for that. Now, the best donor is usually an immediate family member, but sometimes there's nobody in the immediate family with the exact blood types to match. So then you need to go to the parents, and sometimes the parents don't match. Then you need to go to the outside world and see if there's anybody in the world that's got a close match to you. Bro, let me tell you, we got so blessed because we tested out both of our children first to see if he was, see if they were a match. My daughter came back negative, and then we just had to wait for the middle son's result to come back. And the middle son came back as an exact match. Like on 10 markers that you do via postal test, he came back as an exact match. And on the two further markers that they did in the hospital, he came back as an exact match. So essentially, my two sons are they're genetically identical. They're like twins, but born eight years apart. And there's a longer story behind that because we had to wait 8 years for our second son to arrive after Jude, the first one. So Ellis is the second one. We had to wait 8 years for Ellis to arrive after Jude was born, and we were trying for years to have Ellis. And I think sometimes, bro, when you say does faith help with that, it really, really did for us. And we didn't know the reason why. But when you look at God, who's looking from a bird's eye view, I think part of the reason why we had to wait was because God knew, look, I need to save your tears in the future, right? So you can cry every month when you know that you don't have a child on the way, but you can cry now. But the crying that you would have experienced years down the line, if you didn't have this wait for your second son, it would have been significantly worse. So we thank God for His blessings, thank God for His timing. But that was the hardest thing I had to go through as a man and as a father, is watching your son be unwell. I hope nobody has to. I wish that on no one, really. I don't wish that for anybody, man.
Oh, that's good. Lee, and then, well, let's go back into that part where you were just talking, because work life, I know that you do, you've got your own company set up, and we will, after the advertisement break, we will talk about what you actually do, the company that you set up.
Yeah.
But just quickly, just touching on it, because I think it still has a relevant of family life and
Mhm.
how to get that balance. Because I know, it can be an issue within a relationship sometimes that they feel, sometimes the ladies feel like the guy's working too much, is working too long hours.
Mhm. Mhm.
How do you maintain the work-life balance with family life? Is that sort of challenging? And I think it's very important that we want to play a real part in family life, but we do, have that challenge of working, and sometimes it is long hours.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think the key to a lot of things is communication, really. So I try to communicate with my wife, with Trish, on what I'm doing, where I'm going. I'm not the best at that, to be quite honest with you. I do try to communicate, but I really get this. I got a quote from one of I call him an invisible mentor. To me, an invisible mentor is somebody who's mentoring you that you've never met from a distance, but you take their words and you use them for your life, right? You probably would have seen him on Instagram, a guy called Myron Golden. He's
Mhm.
quite well. Some people even here in the UK know him quite well, but he's an American minister who turned into a business person and entrepreneur. Absolutely phenomenal. Follow him online, Myron Golden. Where it comes to work-life balance, he says really there's no work-life balance. There's just seasons, right? And I really took that on board. There's just seasons of really flat out pedal to the metal, grinding to get something done, and then there's seasons of rest. So seasons of work, seasons of rest, seasons of play. Like it says in the Bible, right? There's a time for everything. So for me right now, I'm in a season of very, very hard, focused, dedicated work. But at the end of that, in the project management world, they called it a sprint. So at the end of that sprint, at the end of these 90 days, then I'm going to maybe take a rest. I'll take the family away on holiday, reset and recharge. So if your wives or partners are able to understand that I'm in a season of work right now, but right after this season of work, there's going to be a season of rest or a season of play. And if you can communicate that effectively, then at least that's helped me. That's helped me in my relationship to do my best to communicate that.
I love that, Lee. I love the way that you break that down. Wow. I'm just amazed of how you break down stuff.
Appreciate it.
But I do. Is there, let's talk about legacy, like when you was growing up. And was there any person, like, well, let's say legacy, let's say back in the days, or let's say present now, who inspired your life when you was growing up, or inspire
Yeah.
your life now?
Do you mean like his famous people or
Let's talk about,
individual?
it could be anybody. Let's not just
All
put it
right, let
down
me
to
start with
famous
this one.
people.
Yeah, I've mentioned my dad
And it could
already.
be a long list. It could be a long
Yeah,
list, but
yeah.
let's just keep it down to some people that had that important impact.
All right, we're gonna leave off the famous people. Yeah, for now,
Yeah,
we'll leave off the famous
yeah.
people for now. Michael Jordan was like my biggest hero. I loved his work ethic. I loved his tenacity. I love how he wanted to win. But we leave him off for now. There's always a conversation of were you a Malcolm X guy or were you a Martin Luther King guy? I started Martin Luther King, but once I started reading Malcolm X, I was like, nah, this is my guy, right? So those are the kind of, we leave those famous people. But I tell you, I'm going to tell you two quick stories. There was a guy, we're going to come to finance later on, but in my career, there was a guy that I worked with who really brought me from a technical role in the job that I was at to the front office sales, trading at like Goldman Sachs, which is one of the best investment banks in the world. It's amazing. So I always look to this individual and say, listen, thank you because you changed my life. You took me from a role which was okay to a role which literally put me into the position that I am right now. My love of FX and trading was born out of a fact that this individual and character brought me into a trading role. But he's not from our community. He was an entrepreneur. He saw a spark in my eye and said, "Look, I'm going to put my arm around your shoulder and mentor you." The guy who I want to mention, believe it or not, is somebody you and I both know. Can you guess who it is? Can you have a guess who the individual is that we both know, who I still maintain to this day is one of my heroes? Can you guess who it might be?
No.
One of my heroes, somebody
One
that I
of your
look up to
heroes.
still, yeah. Somebody I look up to all the time. I think about him regularly with very, very high regard. Very high regard. like almost like my dad was
Yeah.
my mentor,
Yep.
and then probably in terms of people that have impacted my life, then probably this person next.
I know.
Who do we
Tell
who
me.
do we know? Who do we know from the same circles? Think of the people we
There's
we grew up
loads. Come on.
with. Loads.
There's
You know who it is?
loads.
It's Pastor H.P. Strawn, you know.
Oh
Pastor
wow.
H.P.
Come
Strawn.
on. Come on.
Yeah,
Come
Pastor
on.
H.P. Strawn from Deptford back in the day, for me, is just a legendary stalwart. Yeah, you
Norman's
sort of
got
see
it.
Norman.
Yeah. Norm.
Norman
Norm.
knows.
Yeah.
Norman knows. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's put out there on the comments because this individual was a hero for me, man. I look up to him with such high regard. Even now, man, I look up to him with he's an amazing. He was an amazing character. Amazing. I could tell you stories about why I love the way he preached, and he always used to shake his left hand like this when he was preaching. You know, he
Yeah.
used to shake
Yeah.
his left hand,
Yeah.
but it wasn't just his preaching; it was his I don't know his connection with God, his leadership ability. I mean, I've been very very blessed to see great leadership in my father.
Mm. We've lost you, Mike Lee. We've lost your mic.
Sorry, sorry, I hit,
Yeah.
I hit, I
Okay.
hit space by mistake. Sorry about that.
It's
I
all
was
right.
saying that I've been really, really blessed to see good leadership with my father, with people like Pastor Strong, with my mentor, who was an amazing leader. But I'd say I've even been more blessed to see terrible leadership. Yeah, naming no names, and Pastor Strong was one of those great leaders, which I just look up to. Leader of the church who brought other leaders through, was not afraid to put responsibility in the hands of other people and trust them to do a great work. That was on the leadership side, but also personally, I remember a time, and you know Harry, pastor's son. I remember
Yeah.
a time when I was at university. I was just really, my belly was griping me. I didn't know what it was. And Pastor Strawn's house was around the corner from mine. My parents were far away, but Pastor Strawn's house was there. I went round there. I'm like, I don't know why I feel sick. I feel sick. I feel sick. Pastor Strawn said, sit down. He says, what's wrong with you, man? I said, I don't know. He said, sit down, son. He says, you've been like this
Yeah.
all day? No, I've just been like this for the last 4 hours, man. My belly's hurting. My belly's hurting. He says, don't worry, son. You have wind. Yeah, that's my brother,
I guess.
my pastor went in the kitchen, rubbed two dumplings, chop up some scallion,
Come on.
yeah, yeah, take out whatever you need to take out, make a pot of soup, and said eat that, and says eat that, and put that in front of me and said,
Wow.
yeah, and 20
Come on.
minutes late, 20 minutes later, half an hour later, oh, and these times were when you're a student and when you're poor, right? You don't have money to do everything when you're a
Yeah.
student. So these are he's one of my heroes. So my dad, I would say, my mentor at Goldman, and then Pastor Strong would be another one.
No, I love the way you broke that down, Lee. Again.
Yeah.
But you know what, guys? What I would really want to say, Leon I've known for a long time, and there's many guys. He's one of the guys I always look up to. And I always, I know I get busy sometimes, but ask him. I'll pick up the phone and just to see how he's doing. And
Mm,
there's Norms on it as well, another guy, you know. Um, I could name loads of people. So I've grown up in the church and I've grown up and I grew up around some really strong, powerful men in the church. And these guys shaped me, kept me on the straight. And I used to love going to church, especially hanging around the older lots as well. It made us feel loved. It made us feel like we had a family, not just our family in our house, but outside of that tightness. And I think that is what sometimes I think the younger generation, they need that love. They need to be in this sort of place because we could talk about youth clubs nowadays. They're shutting down. They're shutting down all these places, but it's so important to have these, black men at the forefront showing these love and showing what it's about. And I just really wanted to say to you, Leon, thank you because I've always looked up to you. Norms, Jason, Ian Pitter, I could just name you all. If I missed that, come on, there's loads of you guys,
yeah.
who I really looked up to. Jackie Henry, all these people had a big impact in my life. And I think that is so important when we do talk about these people that it's important that you do have good people around you.
You know what was great about you, bro, is that you actually listen. Though you still do it now, even now. You call, you seek out advice, you look for counsel. You choose whether or not that counsel is something you want to adopt and kind of implement in your own life right now. But you actually listen, and I mean, my same like my son. This is a really really good trait. I try to do the same for people more senior than myself. It's a really good trait to be able to seek out advice and listen and choose whether or not that advice is what you need to implement right now or whether it's not. So kudos to you as well for actually doing that and being like that.
Norm just want to say thanks. Norms, hell yeah. Norms, if you haven't checked that channel, go and check out Norm's TV. He does a literally podcast and he actually talks about Arsenal. There's Chelsea, I think Liverpool and Tottenham on that channel. So check out Norm. Norm's what day they're on again? I think it's on a Wednesday. Put it in the chat for us. I'm sure it's on a
I can
Wednesday.
tell you now, and Wednesday 6:30, man. I tell you
There
that
you go.
straight.
Wednesday, 6:30. Love that show, you know. So Norm, big you up again. And thanks. But just lastly, question. What advice would you give to black parents? Just give me two advice that you would give to your audience out there listening right now.
Oh man,
And I know it's
there's so
wide. I know there's so
yeah.
much. But
That's
if you only had two choices, come on, two.
number one. Talk to your kids. Talk to them. They say, children need time more than they need things. So time and talk to your children, right? It's not about giving them stuff. It's about being present, I would say. And that's one. Number two, I guess really part of what we're talking about today would be to teach them finance, teach them something that is going to enable them to be autonomous. I really love that word, which is not necessarily dependent on a job, not necessarily dependent on an employee, not that it could be, not necessarily, so that they've got a skill, they've got an ability to create income and wealth for themselves. So that's
Come on.
really would be my thing. So communication
Yeah.
and providing them with the skills that they can be autonomous, really.
And I think that's important. I can't wait to get onto that part because I
Yeah.
feel that it's a good topic and financial and how to sustain it. And we're gonna go more into that after the break. But what we're going to do now, we're going to take a quick break and then we will come back. But guys, I just want to say to everybody in the chat, thank you for supporting. Thank you for even coming supporting your friend Leon. I can see a lot of your people in the group chat, Lee, which is wonderful to see. So I do appreciate you all. But I also ask if you are watching, please, 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 please subscribe and hit the thumbs up. Like we know we do want to get this channel out there more, and we do want to get more guests on this show. So please push it out there. Please tune in Thursday at 7 p.m. We're always here. And also, it's not that we just also invite people, but what we also do is have big discussions that you can literally take part of. You can literally phone in and say your opinions on what you feel. So anyway, we're gonna go to the break and then we'll come back and then we're gonna hit that lesson that Leon was talking about financial.
You like gospel music?
Go to gtracks.net.
You play gospel music?
Go to gtracks.net.
You create gospel music?
Go to gtracks.net. What are you waiting for? Go to gtracks.net. Globally great gospel.
Buy your gospel music on gtracks.net, where the artists get the lion's share.
The Be Uzuri platform was launched by Biddy to promote much more than just being active. Featuring talented trainers from around the world, Be Uzuri brings you representation that matters. Be Uzuri Fitness is an online wellness platform for Black women, featuring not only workouts for the gym, yoga and Pilates, but also affirmations, meditation, and African Caribbean plant-based recipes. Featuring a huge variety of female trainers and resources from around the world, Be Uzuri has brought together content that enables Black women to truly appreciate what well-being means. The Be Uzuri platform is here to inspire and empower your fitness and wellness journey. Check out the website or download the Android app today.
time to shine with Just Talk Black Show. This is Just Talk Black, where we speak truth that lift the black community. Advertise your brand on the Just Talk Black Show. Make it loud, make it bold. Call DJ Purpose, let the story unfold. On that 0747-153-9533. This is Just Talk Black Show. Your business, Just Talk Black Show.
Guys, just welcome back again. I just want to say a big thank you again. Please, please, please subscribe. So this is what we do every week, on Thursday, as I was saying before. So please, as I said, I can see you guys sharing, but I also want to just show you how important this show is. And I'm just not just saying it because it's just my show, but on this show, we give opportunity to any black-owned business, whether you're doing music. It don't even have to be a business. Whether you got a story, a testimony, or anything that you want to tell, this is a space just made for you. And we're trying to bring the community together on this. And we're trying to have an open discussion where we can discuss about things that's happening in our community. And I'm going to show you how important this is. And I'm going to even just show you how. Anytime we as a community try to better ourselves and try to do better, we're always going to get a fight back in what we do. I just looked in the comment and I seen somebody like a troll just saying something not nice. I just had to ban that person, you know. And this is what I'm saying, people. This is what we have to do. We have to stick together and we have to build ourselves as a community. But I'm going to bring Leon back in, and then we're going to be talking about his company and what his company actually does and sort of thing. So welcome back, Lee. Let's
Yeah,
dive
bro.
deep into that conversation because I'm
Yeah, let's
looking
do it.
forward to this.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So Lee, just tell us a little bit about your company. Let's just say about your name. What does the company do? And I know you've got your son involved in that, which I love that. But just tell us a
Mm.
bit about the name and what it is that you do.
Yeah, so the name of the company is Elevation FX. We're changing to Elevation Trading soon. So Elevation FX, Elevation Trading. And we empower people to understand how the financial markets actually really move so that they're able to take advantage of the markets for themselves, whether it's via short-term trading or longer-term investing. Yes, that's really what we do. And what we're finding is that our clients and students really love the whole idea of understanding how the markets truly move. And using my experience in the investment banks, I'm able to get a message across to them, which is different to the usual stuff that you'll find on YouTube or on people who don't really have true exposure to the marketplace. So Elevation Effects Financial Education is the real summary.
So how did what inspired you to literally go into this like financial sort of field?
You know what it was, bro? There was a part of it where I got fortunate. So as I came out of university, I'll tell you a quick story. I came out of university and started working in a housing association in Lewisham, right by the Lewisham Library. Do you know where the old McDonald's used to be in Lewisham High Street? Yeah, just not too far from there was the library, and opposite there was a housing association. So I started working there, and about 3 weeks into that job, I got a call from a headhunter that said, "Listen, Leon, I got a job for you. It's quite a good one. It's a technical role at an investment bank." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll go for the interview." And he said, "Okay, cool. Write down this name. You're going to be meeting this particular individual. Her name's Fiona, and you are going to go into a company. It's called Goldman Sachs, right?" I was like, "Okay, cool. GOLDMANSAX, right?" I had no clue what this company was. And as I started to research for the interview, I realized how huge an opportunity this was. And so I landed on my feet and was able to get a job in their internship, which sent me off to New York for 3 months, learning all about the company. It was an absolutely fantastic opportunity. But being in the investment banking world is what really sparked my interest for trading and for the ability of an individual to make money through an understanding of the markets. So it was really that. And then when I left the investment banking industry in 2015, I had a company which failed. It was a clothing company. It was really great at the time. But I guess you remember this thing called COVID that came around and stopped everybody going to work. It stopped everybody getting married, stopped everybody needing clothes. And so, needing smart clothes. So that business died. And then I just went back to what I know. I went back to what I'm good at, what I actually loved, thankfully, because that business wasn't something it wasn't really my purpose. And now, I find myself sitting in my purpose, teaching people the skills of trading and how the market really moves. So yeah, that's how I got interested, man. It was just through through the blessings of God to be able to land in maybe one of the best investment banks in the world.
Love that, Lee. I absolutely love what you're doing with that. So Forex, it's Forex, yeah?
Yeah. So
Trading
FX,
Forex.
yeah, FX stands for foreign exchange, exactly.
Yeah. So if somebody don't understand the term or what it is, can you just
Mm.
break it down over how it literally what it is for
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't know?
Yeah, so break it down really simply. We're all involved in the foreign exchange market regularly when you're going away on holiday. Or, for example, if you buy something from America, then you might need to pay in dollars. Or let's take, for example, a company that manufactures something, cars, apparel. They manufacture in one country, and then they sell to another country, right? So we're all involved in the FX markets every day. And really what it is, it's changing one currency in return for another currency. All right. So the simplest example is if you're going away on holiday, let's say we're going to France. Well, we know that even though they're just across the water from us, literally an hour and a half, 2 hours max to get to Paris, they don't use the same currency that we do. So we can't take our pounds and use them in Paris in France, because they don't take them. So we need to take the pounds that are in our pocket, exchange them at a dealer or at a broker for euros, which is going to be the legal tender in the country that we're going to if we're going to France. Another example might be, let's take the car manufacturer, right? Nissan. We could use Tesla, we could use Nissan, we could use BMW. It doesn't really matter what. They manufacture in one country and then they ship out to all across the world. So let's take Nissan, as I was saying, they manufacture in Japan. Supposedly they could manufacture anywhere, but let's say they manufacture in Japan. Now when they sell in Europe and when they sell in America, they're going to get euros from Europe, they're going to get dollars from America, they're going to get pounds from the UK, and they need to change that back into money that they can use to run their business. So the foreign exchange market is absolutely huge. I mean, it's not going to numbers, but it is actually the largest market in the world, and being able to take advantage of that for personal gain is what I do, and it's what I teach.
And with that, Lee, what day do they actually the Forex market? Because I've done a little bit, and what days are the Forex markets open on?
So from Sunday night 10 p.m. our time, the market opens, and then it closes Friday night at 10 p.m. So they say 24/7, 5.5, 24, 5.5, right? So 24 hours a day, 5.5 days a week. The cryptocurrency market is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never ever closes, right? But the foreign exchange market is closed from Friday night until Sunday night.
So what advice? Because there's a lot of people who are intimidated by the market.
Yeah.
Um, so how could you? What would you say to overcome their fear and begin trading? Because there's a lot of people who are like saying, well, it's a bit of they call it gambling. Some
Yeah. Yeah.
people are it's like, oh, you can't win. You might win a little bit, but then you lose a lot of money. There's people who've done it that's lost a lot of money, but not being taught the right steps.
So I guess there should be fears, right? If there should be fears with anything that you're approaching that you don't fully understand, and that's the key. Without understanding, you should be a little bit wary about things. But for me, I think the question was what can we say to people who are approaching the market with fear? Really, is the whole idea about needing mentors and systems. And once you've got mentors, once you've got methodologies or systems, then become easier, right? Things get easier when you've got someone who can hold your hand and show you the way, and it can lead you to proper understanding. And another thing that's really important is that there are lots of basic ways to trade, but the market is very, very, very organized. It's very, very systematic. It's very, very detailed. And once you're able to understand that system, once you're able to understand that methodology, and once you're able to understand the building blocks of how the markets actually truly move, then it reduces the fear, because now you're not gambling. Now you are calculating. Now you are forecasting. Now you're gathering evidence towards making a decision. And then if that evidence stacks up, then you go ahead and you take a trade or not, as the case may be. So fear is only because of a lack of understanding, I would say, bro.
I love that, Lee. Lee, I just
Yeah.
want to just quickly just show you this because I love this.
Mm.
Absolutely love this. Come on. Come on, Lee.
Oh wow, wow.
Come
That's from
on.
Little Blues, yeah?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come on. This is what it's about. I love
Yeah.
that. I absolutely love that. But just talking about the Forex again, so how do people now with your company, if they wanted to get involved in sort of trading, what's the steps that they would take to come to you and how do they go to you to start learning about it?
I mean, the simplest step really is just to jump on our website. And in the top right hand corner of our website, there's a contact us form. Put in your name, put in your details. We will get that immediately, and then we'll set up a time for a phone call, or jump on our Instagram, which is elevation.fx. That's our Instagram. Send us a DM, and either myself or my son will get in contact, and we'll have a conversation. There's we don't actually offer a course or a program for people to buy immediately, right? So we're not about the hard sell. It's quite important to us that people who are coming into our industry are the right type of person as well. All right. So we're a little bit selective, but yeah, send us an email or send us a DM on Instagram, or jump onto the website elevationfx.net and just fill out the form, and one of us will get in conversation in contact with you for a conversation.
You're just touching on that point. So you said your son's actually in the business with you.
In the
Now,
business directly.
can you tell us about
His,
that
his, desk, his,
partnership?
desk, his desk is literally right there.
His
Right? So
desk
we're
is
in the
right
same
over
room.
there. Oh,
Desk is
wow.
right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tell us about that partnership and how does it like, how do you work together? How does that work?
I can tell you some
Because
funny things.
a lot of people are frightened to work with families. There's
Well,
some
I
people
tell you
that
what.
say would like, no, don't work with families because
Yeah.
it can have that sort of tension sometimes. Tell us
we're
about that,
we're
please.
working it out, bro. And I tell you how we're working it out, right? So the first dynamic is, look, I'm father, he's son, right? So there's a natural kind of respect that a father has towards his son, as well as it should be a natural respect that a father. So I said the other way around. There's a natural respect that a son has towards his father, and also a natural respect that a father should have towards their son, right? So there's that dynamic of, look, I don't want to push it too far because you're my dad, right? And okay, I don't want to push it too far because you're my son. But also, what's very interesting is that he's my business partner, and I value him genuinely. I value him as a business partner. We have complementing skills. So whilst there might be the father-son friction, where it comes to business, we do our best to put that aside and say, listen, I value you as an entrepreneur, Jude. That's his name. I value you as an entrepreneur. I value you as a business partner. So let's work as partners. And so we have two dynamics. We've got father-son, and for the most part, when we're in business, we try to put that to the side, and then we go back to father-son relationship when we're not talking about business. And the thing is, our skills are amazingly complementary. So I am the strategic one, visionary. I'm looking out where we need to go. What do we need to build? I'm kind of in my imagination and in my creative phase about what this business can become, how we can serve more clients, how we can better improve the outcomes for our students. Whereas Jude, maybe it's a function of him being younger. He's just like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. He is absolutely the fire and the energy. So whereas I can be strategic, he's very productive, would probably be the right, productive and very, very organized. So our skills are very, very complementary, and we try to lean into each other's skills.
Lee. So we're going back to the forex. How can today, like, people build a consistent financial wealth from it? Because you said it's one of the biggest market, and I know it is one of the biggest market because literally, if I'm correct, the banks actually do it as well. Is that correct? That the banks
Absolutely, yeah.
actually
Yeah, absolutely. Banks are trading all of the time, whether it's foreign exchange, whether it's commodities, whether it's in equities, which is stocks and shares. whether it's in bonds, which is debt. Banks are trading everything or anything that can be traded, they're trading. I'm sure, I'm absolutely sure there was a time, if it's not still going on, when they were actually trading emissions, which is basically air and air
Okay.
quality, right? So anything that can be traded, the banks will actually trade. So yeah, they are doing that. And
Yeah,
was
the
what was your
banks.
question? Was your question how can we build a consistent income from that?
Yeah,
Was that
so
the
how
question?
can someone build a consistent from the forex market, for example? How can it be a consistent finance from it?
Well, what I would say is to start small. All right, you get consistent by starting small, just like going to the gym. All right, you try to lift the heaviest weights in the gym the first day you go, you're gonna hurt yourself. So I would just say, look, start small, prove a system that works, and try to get an average of £50 a day. See if you can get an account to a size where you can earn £50 a day. Average £50 a day. Some days you're going to lose, some days you're going to win. But if you can average out £50 a day, then that's an extra £1,000 a month. That's what I would call kind of starting small. £50 a day on average, that's an extra £1,000 over the course of a month. You do that for 12 months straight, that's £12,000 in addition to whatever else you were doing to earn some income. All right.
Wow.
So really start small. And when I say that £50 a day is modest and achievable, I mean it really, really is. It's level one of what should be possible from the trading game.
So would you advise that someone who's actually going to the forex can actually, because there's a lot of YouTube out there, or would you say they need a mentor? Because I always feel in this game, I always feel that you need a mentor, that somebody can teach you and show you. I think sometimes when we do go off actually learning off YouTube, because there's risk management. And I want you to explain about a bit about risk management in it and how do that work in the forex, because you have to take some risk management, in this stuff.
Yeah. So all right. So let's answer the first one about where's best to learn. Right. So we can take it with anything. We can take it with anything. Take it with learning an instrument. All right. Take it with learning a sport or any other skill. Take it with learning how to do plumbing. It doesn't matter what the actual activity is. Right. There's only so much you can do without somebody taking your hand, like I was fortunate enough to have, and putting their arm around your shoulder and say, look, this is how things work. This is how it's done. So as far as FX and trading is concerned, then yes, absolutely, there are some very good tutors on YouTube. There are some very good channels on YouTube, but they are not all accessible. Right? They're not all accessible, especially for us here in the UK. So I would say, okay, cool. Depending on what level you want to get to, yeah, by all means, start on YouTube. But what I think is absolutely better is to start in a program where you're going to have accessibility to the person that actually owns a program, takes you through a process. Like some of my students call me today, I've got 2 1-to-1s booked tomorrow. There's nothing like sitting down with a mentor who's going to be able to actually show you how things really work. So start off, no matter what it is. You want to learn a keyboard, start off on YouTube. You want to learn a little bit about tennis or plumbing, start off on YouTube. It's an amazing utility, an amazing resource. But if you want to get serious, then you need a coach. You need a mentor. Listen, man, did you watch Wimbledon? You watched Wimbledon the other day, right? Even these guys have got coaches who are improving them bit by bit by bit, and they're already top of the game. So you can't underestimate the value of a coach and a mentor. I don't think, if you want to be serious in what you're doing, in anything that you're doing.
Nick, can you share a moment that literally, a moment of one of your students, not naming no name, that they experienced under your mentorship? Because I think that's important to let people know, the achievement that you are actually
Mm.
doing. I think that needs to be really highlighted because I know that you are a guy, when you do something, you do it like 100% fully. And so I know your students are benefit from that. So could you tell us like a little sample, not naming no names, but just how your mentorship helped somebody?
I mean, I'll talk about all students first of all the students that take it seriously. There's a moment that happens in a student's journey with us where the light bulb goes off. Right, it's like you can see in their eyes that it's like they're like, okay, okay,
They get
right?
it. Yeah,
They
yeah,
get it,
yeah.
right?
They get
And
it.
for
Yeah.
me, bro, I tell you, for me as a mentor, coach, tutor, that moment when the student actually when the light bulb goes on, it's a wonderful thing. And I've seen it happen over and over and over and over again. But I think we've got a couple students. One of them was really keen on living a digital nomad life. He was an electrical engineer, and he said, "Look, at the end of this year, this was last year, 24, right?" He said, "At the end of this year, I'm going to move to Thailand, and I'm going to shut down my business." And this was in April. He said this to me, and I said to him, "Okay, cool, no problem. It's tight, but how much do you know about trading?" It's like, "I know nothing about trading, but at the end of this year, I'm shutting down my business. I'm moving to Thailand. I'm going to live a digital nomad life and travel the world, and you're going to teach me how to trade." And I went, "Oh man," I did a proper gulp. But I tell you, that guy focused, man. He did all the assignments. He did all the work. He asked me 100 questions a week, and so said, so done. He closed down his business in December, jumped on a plane in January, and now I'm seeing him on his Instagram. I'm seeing him travel the world. One moment he's in Japan, one moment he's in US, one moment he's in Mexico, then he's in the Caribbean. And for me, it's just like an amazing thing. It even got me thinking, yo, hold on a second, man. I'm here in this office around here teaching people how to do this, and he's out traveling the world. But no, I'm absolutely happy for him. Another guy was very interested in moving to Australia, right? And he's been able to do that as a result of trading, and is making his money via a daily trading system that we've given to him as well. So it's phenomenal, man. I love seeing client success, and there are others. There are other stories. But those are two of the ones that we speak about regularly.
I know there must be loads, Lee, that you could tell us, because I know you, and I know you're a serious guy. Whenever you do anything, you're totally
Yeah.
serious. But going back to like the roles, what roles can forex trading play in building generation wealth for the black community? Because I
Well,
think that's important.
this is a brilliant question. And do you know what I liken it to, P, is the whole idea that FX should be a starting point. Because actually, if you take a year to learn this, right? You make your investment with a tutor, you take a year to learn this, that investment will pay you over and over and over and over and over and over again. I say an investment in a serious investment of money and time in something like FX can maybe be one of the best things you ever do for yourself in your whole life, right? Because it pays you again and again and again and again. Going back to, I'm going to ask you a question, right? But going back to success stories, one of our students, a different one completely, he worked with me for a whole year. And what took me a year to earn from him as a business, he made it back in 21 days, right? 21 days. So I'm working with him for a course of a year. He's done that in 21 days. So number one, you can't underestimate the power of a solid investment of both money and time in learning how to trade. But how can this start to build generational wealth? For me, FX is an entry point. Every every river has a starting point. Every ocean has a starting point, right? And sometimes that starting point is just a little trickle. It's just a little stream. It's just a little fountain, right? And that leads into a tributary, and before you know it, you're out into the sea. Before you know it, you're out into the big wide ocean. So for me, FX and FX trading, especially short-term trading, should be used as a starting point to create a regular stream of income, even if that's £1,000 a month, which can then be used to go into your stocks and shares ISA, which can then be used to maybe complement or top up your pension, which can then be used to save into property. There's so many things you can do once you've been able to establish a regular flow of income into your life. So it's not that FX itself is going to be the generational wealth changer. It can definitely provide a comfortable lifestyle, but I would look at it more as a way to create the flow of income that can then move into other assets and other investments. That's how I would look at it.
Got nothing message from one of your friends, Lee. I mean,
What
come
he
on,
said,
come on.
my guy, King Montel, man, King Montel. I'm telling you,
Montel.
I'm gonna talk to him and get him on your show for you. This is a brother that is just, he's so solid. I'm gonna connect you. Yeah, I'm gonna
What
connect
what
you.
does he do? Just tell us a little bit about
So,
Montel.
so
He's in the
he's an
chat there.
entrepreneur. He's a serial entrepreneur is the best way to think about it. He's got multiple businesses. He's a lead, a community. I would go as far as calling him a community leader. Young, still in his 20s, right? But he's a
Wow.
community leader. He's done stuff with Crystal Palace TV.
Come
I
on.
mean, just somebody that that I really love, respect, look up to, appreciate. So I'm gonna connect you, and you two can have a conversation. Yeah.
No, I love that. I love that. Montel, definitely connect. Definitely connect. We need to have get you on this show. Lee, just going back to the trading as well, because I think it's important. We're talking about Forex and we're talking about the market. So what are the essential tools that people need? Because I think that is another point that, Forex, you need to be on a laptop, a
Hmm.
computer, and
Hmm.
then what else do they need? And what sort of programs do they need for this?
Also, at its basic, you can really do almost everything on a mobile phone. At its most basic, right? You can do everything on a good iPhone, 14 up, iPhone 12 up. You can do almost everything. All right. But for me personally, as what I would call a professional, I like to sit at my desk. I've got multiple screen. I've got 5 screens on my setup, right? So the screen that I'm
Yeah.
looking at you, the screen I'm looking at you here now. I've got one screen where I keep my broker where I trade on. I've got other screen where I keep charts on. So for me, I'm almost trying to replicate the setup that I had in the investment banks. But for most people, a simple laptop will be enough to get started, laptop. And on that laptop, there'll be software, things like TradingView, which most people use, things like access to a broker. And that's really it. That really is it, man. Internet connection and a laptop is really all you need to get started in and a good mentor, of course. Shameless plug.
Yeah. So how do you see as well the Forex market in 5 to 10 years? Like, and should traders be preparing for it?
Yeah, well, you know what, Pete? As with anything, AI is
Oh, come
taking
on,
jobs.
AI. Come on, AI. This AI serious. It's serious,
And it's taking jobs, and
Come on.
it's going to go fast, right? So we were doing some commercials to run for our YouTube channel, which we're about to start, and just for kind of like a lead magnet to get people awareness about who we are, right? So we're preparing some commercials. In that preparation, I saw that Microsoft had allowed 9,000 people to leave the jobs, right? Let go 9,000 people. I think Intel let something like 21,000 go. I think a Meta was something similar, 21,000, like Facebook. They're letting people go in droves, right?
Mm.
BT in this country is listen to
Wow.
this number. Listen to this number, right?
Yeah.
BT in this country are getting ready. Remember, BT was the number one employee for black people back in the day,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but in terms of black people, BT was one of the number one employees for black people back in the day, and they are preparing by 2030, which is only 5 years away, to let go 40 to 55,000 people from their workforce.
Wow.
Right? Imagine
Wow.
if it
Come
goes top
on.
end, 55,000 people from the workforce going to be lose their jobs to AI. Right? Okay. So what do we do about that? People as AI is creating automation, people have got to take autonomy. They've got to be able to earn for themselves. And I think in trading as well, there is going to be some AI influence, but AI is going to work best for individuals who actually got some understanding and comprehension of the market. Yeah, I've used bots before. I've used AI before, but it works best
So
when
when
you're
you're
an
saying when you're saying bots, what's bots for the audience who don't know?
So a bot is like consider it like a computer program that runs without you. Right. So you give it some instructions, you say, do this, do this, do this, do this at this time, this time, this time, or at this price, this price, this price.
Wow.
You basically give the bot a set of rules and you say, go and do your thing. And that's it. Yeah, go and do your thing. Now, I've seen that work well at times. I've seen good results on it on my trading, but I've also seen it literally blow accounts, and I've blown and lost accounts as a result of when I say lost accounts, I've blown trading accounts as a result of using automation. So it really works best when you know what you're doing, and I don't think it's quite up to scratch just yet. But AI is coming for everything. Put it that way, AI is coming for everything. Now, with that said, you really got me on an interesting topic here because I've been more and more obsessed with AI recently.
Yeah.
With that said, what AI cannot do for a long time is understand nuance. Is understand, well, you're right, but you need to wait a little bit. You need to pull off, right? AI is digital, black, white, left, right, up, down, right? So at the moment, AI doesn't have nuance. maybe it will generate that over time. And that nuance is what keeps trading a very interpersonal thing. It's an interpersonal thing, relationship between the individual and the actual market. So yes, AI will become useful for traders, but I think it's going to work best for those who really, really understand how the markets actually truly work.
It's AI. I mean, people are making millions of this, like starting companies.
Yeah.
I don't know. This AI is just what it's actually doing nowadays is just like blowing my head. Like it's just moving too quick as well. It's learning so quick.
Well, it's the most intelligent thing ever. Let's think about it like that. There's nothing more intelligent than AI except God. Quite literally. Quite literally, right? You think about what I just said. There's nothing more intelligent than AI except God. AI is the smartest of smarter than any human who ever existed because it knows everything all through history, right? It knows everything. At least it knows everything that we've fed to it. So yeah, it's moving really, really rapidly. But we've been thinking about this from a business point of view as well. What AI cannot do yet is interpersonal relationships and nuance. So as far as building a business is concerned, we have to implement AI on the back end, make sure that AI is involved in everything we do internally and helps us to service our clients in a better way. But we also need to make sure that we maintain strong interpersonal relationships with our clients, one-to-ones, events, meetings, social gatherings. That is something that will never be replaced or won't be replaced for a very, very long time. So from a business perspective, it really is about interpersonal relationships and nuance as it comes to staying ahead of the AI curve.
Can you just let people know where to find your company again? 'Cause I think that's important if people just joining in now. Just how to find your company for us.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. So two things. You can find us on the web. Elevationfx.net is our website. If you want to get in touch with us, please just top right hand corner of our website, you're going to just see a box. Put your details in there, and someone will get in contact. Or follow us on Instagram. We've got a small Instagram page at the moment, and we're going to spend some time building that. But our Instagram is elevation.fx. You'll be able to find us there. So either one, website elevationfx.net or on the Instagram elevation.fx.
I love that. Just going back to one little thing that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the younger version. If you could go back and advise yourself as a young person again, what advice would you give yourself?
Do you know what's funny? And we mentioned my good friend Montello. We've already mentioned him on the call. We were
Yeah.
working together on a project some years ago, and he said something to me which has really stuck with me. And he said, "Think bigger, faster." Right? He said, "Think bigger, faster." So for me, that's one of the things I would say to myself: think bigger, faster. I would say believe in yourself earlier, right? Believe, believe, believe. And let me tell you this word belief, man. I wish I knew and fully understood the word belief years ago. It's probably one of the most important words I've ever come to know and understand. And I would say to my younger self, believe, study belief, understand belief, and be a believer. That's what I would say. That's what I say to myself. I say go on a project, go on a journey of understanding the importance of belief. And then there's this faith in there as well, understanding the importance of belief. That's what I would say. Believe, 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 believe.
And that is important. Believing is important. You know, I
Mhm.
didn't, with this show, I had to believe that I can do this.
Correct.
I had to
So
believe.
let's talk about that for 1 second, yeah?
Yeah.
This show
Yep.
was formed in your mind before you actually ever put pen to paper,
Come on.
before you went on this software to find out how can I do this as a software? How can I connect this one software to YouTube? How can I start to build my audience? This happened in your head first, yeah, like
Yeah.
everything. And you had to believe, there was a point where you had to believe that what you saw in your mind could be a reality, right? So believing always comes before seeing, always. It's never ever the other way around. Believing comes before seeing. And you did that with this. I've done that with my business. And if I was going to go back and talk to my younger self, I would say believe in is seeing. That's the message I would give to myself. Believing is seeing.
That's right. But also believing, but you also have to put the work in. You have to do the action. We can
That's.
believe it, but we have to put the action.
Let me challenge you there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge you on this one. I like this conversation. Yeah, because if you don't believe it,
Yeah,
why would you put the work in?
that's right. But I think you have to have the two. I think you have to have the two. Because there's many things, all right, there's many times I believe that I can do something,
Yeah.
but then I don't do the action. And I think to do the action is an important key to even just to get started, because you can believe something, but
Hmm.
don't mean because you believe it, you're not going to then do the action. I think
So
the action part of it is
yeah.
important as well. The two goes together.
So I'm going to advance it, right? So the way I think you're right, right? So the way I would say is that action is the proof of your belief. That's how I
Oh,
would say
come
it.
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the nice way to sum it up.
So action proves your belief. Just like the Bible says, faith without works is dead. It's
Dead.
very similar
Yep,
thing. Yeah.
yep,
So action proves your belief.
yep.
Works proves your faith. It's not
And
faith that says, "Oh, I'm going to be healed, so oh God, heal me." Oh, I'm going to have money, so give me money. It doesn't work like that. The works prove your faith. So I'm going out hustling because I believe that my faith means God's going to give me something. I'm going to the gym, I'm working out, I'm eating healthy because I believe God wants to heal my body or God wants to fix me. Or do you understand what I mean? Or
yeah,
I want to
yeah.
recover from a certain thing. So action is the proof of your belief in the same way as works is the proof of your faith. That's it for me.
I love that. I need that. I'm gonna copy that saying, you know. I'm teething that saying.
Yeah, yeah, you
I'm
can.
literally
Hey,
gonna
listen,
steal
all right,
that
no, no,
one.
no, listen. You give me the first free credits, yeah. Your first free time you use it, then you give that one to me, and then afterwards you can have that for yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal that one.
All
So
right.
on air, I'm stealing that one, peeps. I'm stealing that one. But Lee, just to sum up the peeps, can you just leave the people just a message from yourself? Just anything you like to say to the audience out there, because there's a lot of people that's tuned in today, and I do appreciate everybody who is literally supporting this channel and literally supporting Lee on today as well. I really do appreciate you guys, and please, please, please subscribe. Please, I need to push this channel out there, and we are aiming by the end of the year to get at least 300 subscribers. But I know we could do more than that. But I'm just setting a minimum bar, and I do believe that we are going to achieve big things on this channel. So please, please, please subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, and Lee, I'm just going to leave it down to you just to say one word or a couple of words that you like to say to the audience today.
Well, number one, let's support each other, and I'm gonna back you up there and say, please support a purpose in what he's doing. Excuse me, support purpose in what he's doing here. It takes nothing. I've already just done it. I've subscribed on your YouTube channel. It takes
Thank you.
nothing. It literally takes nothing, right? And if the content is that bad after a month, then okay, then I'm subscribed, right? But it's not gonna be like that. So that's my first thing is to say, like, first thing, I want to see that go up to 50 subscribers by the end of the week. There's
Oh,
enough
come
people
on.
on here right now to see 50 subscribers by the end of this week. And then the other thing that I would really just say, it goes back to what we were just saying before then, is like, listen, believe in yourself, have compassion for other people, study the whole idea of believing is seeing. It's not, people will say, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. No, 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 no. No, you don't believe when
Mm,
you don't believe you don't believe when you see it. No, sorry. People say seeing is believing. I got it the other way around.
yeah,
People say seeing
yeah.
is believing. Yeah, it's not seeing is believing. It's believing is seeing. So go study that. Go study the whole concept of belief. And listen, man, build your personal finance, build your personal wealth. Do everything you can to protect yourself from the AI roadmap that we are on right now. Just get some education, get some mentors, find some people who can give you some answers. And yeah, let's just continue to build a community and love one another, man. That's it. I think that will be my message. That will be it, bro.
Thank you. You're my
Really,
brother. I'm always
really
looking up to you.
appreciate it.
Thank you for today. But Lee, you know what? I'm gonna put you on the spot, I'm gonna put
Yeah,
you
go
on the
on.
spot.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this, and I literally want to you, I think, is the right person to interview me and let the
Yeah?
audience know a little bit about me and why I'm doing this.
Nah.
Come
Nah.
on. Come on. From a brother to a
Okay,
brother,
man.
I think we need to line that up. I think we need to get you on to interview me and let the people know why I started this and a little bit about who I am and what I do.
Love it. That's so cool, bro. It'll be my honor. It'll be my absolute honor and privilege to do that for you, bro. Let's do
Yeah.
that. Let's
I've
do
known
that.
you to. I've known you a long time. I think, yeah,
And you did
I
put me on
need
the
you.
spot because there's no way that I could say no now. There's no way. There's
That's why
no
I
way
put
that
you
I
on the
could actually
spot.
say no.
That's why I literally put you on the spot because I need you to do it. I need.
Happy,
I like the
happy.
way me and you're vibing today. This conversation has been like wonderful, and Leon is the first guy on this Just Talk Black show. So the first one, big you up,
Thank
Lee.
you for the invite, man. Thank you for the invite. And I'd be honored to reverse the situations and find out a little bit more about who you are and why you started this. That'd be great.
Oh, come on. Come on, thanks. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for today. Really do appreciate you guys who are live tuning in today. Thank you for all the comments that you made in the chat today. You know, I really do appreciate you guys, and just keep on supporting us. As I said, there is people out there who do want to stop sort of like the black community from elevating itself, and we're not going to do that. We're going to keep on pushing. We're going to keep on educating and helping our kids out there as well to teach them about culture and where they came from and who they are. So there's going to be many topics that we're going to discuss on this channel. And I just wanted to say, I really, 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 from the bottom of my heart, to say a big thank you to you guys who are supporting the channel. And as Leon did say, please, please, please just hit that subscribe button. You know, it would do wonderful for the show and it will push us out there further. But if you are interested in coming on the show, please just go on Instagram and go to the Just Talk Black show page and just send me a little DM message in there saying that you like to. I can send your application form and we can get you on this channel. The same thing as Leon was doing today, showcasing your business. As I said, it don't even just have to be a business. If you've got a testimony that you like to share with the community, we can do that. If you're a music artist and you want me to also play your music on the show, I can do that as well. This channel is for you guys. This is about you. I'm not doing it for no money or anything. I am doing it just to support my community and just to have a bigger outreach for you guys to push your contents out there. So please, please, please subscribe again. And I just thank you all for tuning in today.
Big love to everyone tuning in, to every voice, every vibe, every black soul shining. This one's for you. Thank you for riding with the Just Talk Black Show. We started with a mic and a dream. Now your love makes the vision beam. Every like, every share, every view means the world we honor you. You stay locked in week by week, giving power to the words we speak. This is more than a show, it's truth. So we give this back to you. Thank you for the love, yeah, we feel that vibe. Feel that vibe, feel that vibe. You lift us up and keep us alive. Stay alive, stay alive. From the heart of the block to the global flow. Let them know. Thank you for riding with Just Talk Black Show. Big respect to the fam who stayed through the laughs, the tears, the moves we made. You are the reason we grow and glow. Thank you for tuning to Just Talk Black Show. We talk black, we talk bold, but it's you that keeps the story told. When you comment, call in and vibe, you bring this whole thing to life. From black businesses to rising stars, we're shining bright cause you play your part. No matter where you're watching from, you are the heartbeat of this drum. Honey, call the strength for the love you show. Love you show, love you show. You're the fire in this black soul glow. So glow, so glow. One voice, one love, one flow. Let it flow. Thank you for watching the Just Talk Black Show. You clap back, you lift up, you ride. Together we stand in black pride.